go again. Boom. Hey yo, it's your boy Millennium Apple and anything, and I'm coming at y'all with F.A. Tainted F.A.s, man. Synchro deck, also Floodgate deck. At the same time, we kind of are lacking a good synchro deck that's not um super dependent on one thing, like going into synchro summons, and that's all it does. That's kind of like what most synchro decks do. This deck does that, and it has floodgates. It goes synchro summons, and it has floodgates. And then I'm playing Tainted Wisdom package because level 7 is a pretty good level for synchro summons with level 1s. So you get to synchro summon as well as have floodgates. So yeah, and we'll get into some more tips about the deck in a little bit. Let's play some of these replays. So here I start off. My opponent is seemingly playing some kind of Snake Eyes. My hand ain't all that. I get a search. Luckily, I have other field spells, so I can summon a Hang On Mock. Quickly alter that because I do need to get the banishment started. Good thing I went first. So my opponent, they couldn't actually activate the Tainted Treasure Treason because I can't be targeted during the main phase. Like I guess they didn't have no targets and no way to kill over my Hang On Mock. Do I get to increase the level of that? Do this, increase this. Search. Go for this, draw a card, summon. Pitch, draw. Or search, I mean, and then bring back. I better get Nibiru. This way you could never underestimate a Nibiru. It's funny because he was just holding it. He didn't have nothing the whole time. But I got a couple of interruptions. Now he summons Snake Eye Orc. He gets the dragon. I'm like, you gonna try to equip my card? I didn't know the whole time he had this corrupted gem, this tainted treasure. I'm like, yeah, because he could have got rid of your thing. We can't target it thanks to F.A. City Grand Prix. So even in the face of 2-3K beaters, the F.A.s are not completely overwhelmed. Luckily, they don't have any extra bonus abilities because then it would have been an issue. Decks also, they can't be targeted, so he really didn't have much of a choice but to let it go through. So Grand Prix is really, really nice for the deck. Really, really nice. And then having a Floody on the field is fantastic. On top of that, I was searching the card and it was really nothing. I was getting additional cards. I had like these in my hand. So I just decided to just go for game. And that's the game. Also, we got to play against Snake Eyes and Mementos. Interesting. So we actually got to play against Mementos. So of course he destroyed, add, and then also I think you got to destroy, and then you can add and send for 2, and then activate Tokola's effect. Turn 5. But that's all he had is a magic cylinder. It's kind of crazy. But I still wanted to show it because I'm like, you playing a new deck. That's not my fault if you didn't upgrade it to the standard. I mean, it still would have been. It still could have went sideways just because I don't even know. He could have had Cranium Burst, but that only negates monsters effects. So I was gonna try to destroy that first anyway. I don't know what he would have had in his hand. My hand wasn't the best, and so that's it. Pretty much. Yeah, in this game, I pretty much just get my field spell searcher, get rid of it, and set. But I had opened up, at least I had an extra treasure, so it wasn't too bad. I just didn't really get much FA cards, but this card can come back, so I wasn't really caring if he got rid of it, so I guess he didn't know that. I don't have to care if he gets rid of it or not. So that comes back, and then he tries to activate that. I'm like, no. So I can search my field spell. Activates, of course, his Deceit of the Mr. Rune. But a lot of stuff is going on in this game, and it's not looking good for my opponent. Gonna go for Baron DeFleur. Pop this as if I needed to. But that does increase him. Pop another card. Then proceed to attack. And I still got both of my Tainted Treasure set, Doom and Betrayal. And my opponent just decides to say, hey, I'm just going to scope. And so we still had Pit Stop and 2 extra draws, along with 2 treasures and a negate and follow up. So that'd been like, what, 3 extra cards next turn in hand? So technically like 4 live and then the 2. It's pretty good. That wasn't the best. That wasn't the best. Some of those were pretty decent, but I'm usually not gonna post a deck profile unless it's actually like doing decently. Dia Bellstar, Dark Witch. Ah, yeah, this card is super good with this deck. You get the synchro summon, special summon this. Deck's pretty simple and straightforward. Like this is just special summon and then set directly from the deck, and then on your opponent's turn it has an additional effect. So you can get a search again on your opponent's turn. But you could send from your hand or field to the graveyard in order to do this, which actually works with FAs because you have your field spells. And Dark Dragster is pretty good. I didn't used to like the pop, but the pop helps you pump your field spells to get your effects going. And Assault Beast is normal. 3 Hang On Mox and 2 Whip Crossers because this is a little bit more underestimated than you would believe. So that's pretty decent. And so we got the Blossoms, okay, and then Side Reflector because this can make Motorhome, which one of your FA monsters, or Dawn Dragster, just off of this one card. Can make those, and those are part of the archetype, so pretty nice. And FA Auto Navigator, she searches and she can come back from the graveyard. Yep. And each effect can be activated separately from each other, so you could normal summon this and then use it later on, special summon it with this other ability, first ability, and then get it back from the grave, and then go ahead and synchro summon from there. And he gets to alternate his levels. Then 1 for 1 can bring any of these guys. Dark Ruler no more. Then Test Run so good. You know, you can use this going first or second. Pit Stop's kind of like an upstart goblin that gets stronger the more you get. So, and also these cards it's really about FA Test Run and Pit Stop's really about the secondary effects. You banish card from your grave and target one FA monster. Give your special summon it. Yeah. So this brings back your FA monsters, and this one can special summon them from the deck. Just not the turn they were sent. So, but it's still pretty good that you get to do that. So you can have a better way to come back. And of course, 3 E-Tellers because it's F3 in the TCG, so why not? And then the Tainted Treasures. And then this can banish itself to recover one of your tainted traps accept itself, tainted spells or traps accept itself back to your deck, and then draw a card. So straight to the bottom, and then draw a card. And so that's like really good. And then Grand Prix prevents your FA from being targeted, so it's like really good. Then the FA Off-Road Grand Prix, that one's not so good. And Hyper Stadium, well, it can't get extra normal summon. This one just says when if a monster you control is destroyed by battle, discard one random card from your opponent's hand. That's kind of like irrelevant. If they don't want to attack, then maybe it'll come up, but maybe not. If they end up killing it because you just so happen to have something that's not that great. This only increases during the main phase. This increases all monsters on the field during the main phase and battle phase. This takes up 2 phases. Grand Prix is a lot better. They could use a new field spell, to be honest, and then we got Circuit. Crystal of FA during the battle phase only. This also... This is all... Yeah, it is once per turn. Only get a once per turn on when they destroy a monster to get extra cards in hand. That's kind of... You know... that almost should have never been once per turn. But anyway... Hyper Stadium gets your extra monster on the field, but paying 1,000 life points. And then the Circuit Grand Prix. 2 impermanents and then the rest. The extra deck is pretty... It's just Shining GT Star, this kind of archetype card. Based off of FAs. Nightmare Phoenix can destroy back row. Blacklist Soldier just in case. Stardust Charge Order. Just an extra card to draw. FA Dawn Dragster. Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon. You don't really need that. Draco Berserker. Scarlight. Destroy all monsters. Non-targeting. Removal. Motorhome. It's an archetype. And it cannot be destroyed by battle or card effect. So it kind of like an archetypal, like, tank. It's like your tank card. I know people say towers, but yeah, we have tanky cards too. And tank cards, I consider tank cards that tank cards are not like towers cards. They're usually not as strong, but they have some kind of protection. Either from they can't be destroyed by battle, or they can't be destroyed by card effects, and maybe they have an additional effect that a tank kind of card is something like Ching Ying. So think of it when you think of a tank card. Think of a card that it has the ability where it can't be destroyed by card effects or can't be destroyed by battle, and it either lowers the stats, it changes something on the field as well. Like it lowers the stats. Like Ching Ying is like a tank because it just has it has the ability to also lower stats and protect yourself from being destroyed by card effects. So that's almost like a 2-for-1, like making it harder to kill it in battle. And then it can also banish cards off of its own effect. So it's kind of like a tank. He's one of the special tanks though. He's like a special tank because he has like special abilities. But yeah, this is like a tank card because it can't be destroyed by battle or card effects. Not more so much like a towers card. Towers are usually unaffected like Psychic and Punisher. So FA Motorhome can't be destroyed by battle or by card effects. It's not the craziest effect, but it's pretty good. Also, it can get pretty big, so it makes it kind of annoying. It has 3,000 defense. So even if they do negate it, they still have to get over 3k defense. Because that's its natural stat base. And it can also bring back FA monster from your graveyard. And keep increasing its level. So it can get up to pretty crazy attack stats because it's one of the biggest motorhomes naturally. I mean, the biggest FA monsters naturally. And Baron DeFleur, Changing, and then Psychic and Punisher. For your towers like card. And man, so many people really need to learn how to get rid of this thing. Psychic and Punisher. It could be a whole video on like Psychic and Punisher, man. Leave a comment or like or subscribe if y'all want to see if I make a video on that. But Millennium Apple out, man. If y'all want to see that video, drop a like and comment because, man, there's just more stuff to do, man. Alright.